Razor, we talked in pre-brew about a couple of things, keys to this game. One of them was, we know that Edmonton's great power play, right? It's a lethal weapon. You want to keep it 5-on-5. And we thought that the depth of the Bruins would be beneficial for them. Turns out it was the depth of the Edmonton Oilers that came through for them as their fourth line scored a goal. And the Boston Bruins lose on Thursday night at TD Garden 3-1, the second of a 5-game homestand. Team now 1-1 their last 2 games. But overall, it's a pretty darn good game by the Bruins. I mean, it was one of those games. I'm not saying you're okay with the loss, but I think you're saying, for the most part, we did what we had to do against these high-flying Edmonton Oilers. We just didn't do enough when it came down to special teams. Would you agree?
I would agree with that. Yeah. I mean, again, it was, I'm on the couch, so it's a little different how I watch the game.
Yes.
But Edmonton's good. There's a reason why they've gone to 2 cup finals, and they've at times they'll slip up, but when they put their mind to it, they play like they did tonight. And I thought the Bruins hung with them, and it was a couple of special teams plays, like you said, that separated them. And Connor McDavid's Connor McDavid. It's, it was a good battle.
Yeah. Connor McDavid had a goal and assist. He had the assist on the first power play goal. And then he has the electrifying, beautiful pass from Nugent Hopkins, shorthanded breakaway goal that I want to get into the head of you and or Swayman, or you into Swayman's head, perhaps. Tell me what a goalie is supposed to do there, because I have no idea, given his speed. But the way that, I'm going to say the Edmonton Oilers, to me, I always look at them like, are they really that good? Are they really that good? And then they find a way to go 6-1-1 in their last 8. And McDavid scores, was it 22 points now in his last 8 games? And Draisaitl's, going crazy. And I'm like, but are they really that good? And I guess I need to say, yes, they are. And another thing is, I know that McDavid had the 2 points, and I know rightfully so, the number 1 star, right? But like on TV, we named Calvin Pickard the number 1 star, given that he made some great saves, 12 out of 12 when he came in. I kind of felt like he saved the game because we had a goalie get hurt at the end of the second period. Tristan Jarry had to go out. So I give them credit. I guess I'm begrudgingly giving them credit that they do this stuff.
No, they deserve all of it, and it's again. So I picked Edmonton to win the Stanley Cup this year. I think Connor's going to just decide that he's going to do it now. This is it. It's just different because of those 2 guys, and it's different because it's Connor McDavid. He elevates. They're the only team that's like a basketball team where he can just elevate and take over a game, and he doesn't always do it, but he did it against Boston tonight. He really did. Like that shorthanded goal, you're watching and you're seeing 10 seconds before he scores, you're saying, oh, Connor's scoring here. You can see it. It's winding. He's winding, and then he's able to, and he's gone, and it's over. And again, that's what he does. And then when everyone else kind of buckles down just a little bit, that makes them a really good hockey team.
So you think Tristan Jarry and Calvin Pickard can lead into a Stanley Cup still? Because they don't have any room to go out and make another move.
They can find someone other than Calvin Pickard. That would be my guess. But no, now Tristan Jarry getting hurt, and put something in there. But I do. I think Tristan Jarry is way better than Stuart Skinner for whatever that's worth.
Interesting.
From all my goalie friends.
All right. Well, I think Jarry has the potential to be, we saw 3 years ago, to be pretty good. He's very athletic. I mean, the antithesis of Stu Skinner. Skinner's not athletic. He's big. He's a battler, but he can't nearly move side to side nearly as well as a Tristan Jarry. Mm-hmm. Problem is Jarry, I just don't know where his head's at. His confidence.
Well, now injuries all of a sudden like that.
Yeah, groin, leg, something.
Definitely
right?
Growing. Yeah, left growing.
Yeah.
Bingo.
So, well, look, we can bounce around. We can talk about the game. It's one, but there's some things I just want to hit on in particular. And again, not begrudging. I'll say I thought the Edmonton Oilers, just like the Boston Bruins, at 5-on-5, played some really good team defense.
Yeah.
I thought the Oil.
There was
really,
nothing out there. Both
nothing.
teams. Nothing out there for both teams.
Did Bergie enjoy it? Because he's a defensive, stalwart. He loves that stuff. Did he appreciate it was I don't know about a playoff game feel, but kind of close to it. And it was very stout in the neutral zone, regular third man high back checker.
Yeah, it's very, that's what he appreciated, is the getting back into the zone, compact, connected, nothing being neither team 5-on-5 had a second chance, right? Mm-hmm. It was all one and done. It was all one and done the entire night. But it looked from TV that they were all playing pretty hard as well. So yeah. So it was just a good game that it was going to take somebody to make a play.
Yeah. There was a good vibe in the building early on, but because of the concerted effort, it's amazing. You could tell the Edmonton Oilers were focused on shutting down a very good offensively capable Boston Bruin team, which again, if you go back 3 months ago, I never thought I would put those words together in a sentence, right? Yep. I never, no. But you're talking I don't remember exactly where they're at, top 8, top 9 teams in the NHL as far as goals for. Forgive me if I'm off by a little, but I'm pretty sure it's between top 7 and 10 teams that can score goals. And Edmonton came in after having won the other day on the road in Pitt. But they were Pitt. Was it Pitt?
They played in Pitt. Yeah,
Pitt, Tuesday night, right. And Utah played in Pitt on the previous Sunday. I'm getting all my games mixed up right now. But you could tell they came in with a purpose in this one. Like, they really respected this game, which is kind of a nice thing that the Bruins are getting, other teams' antennas up.
They are.
Because, they really protected middle ice well, and so did the Bruins. And they did a great job against McDavid and for the most part against Draisaitl and those guys. And, Hyman, to me, is a major influencer for this team. And the Bruins handled him, too. They were physical when they needed to be against them. They were good sticks against them. It literally came down to, and we'll go to the first power play goal. Nugent Hopkins gets the goal at the 13:38 mark of the first period for McDavid and Draisaitl. It ends up being a penalty on Kastelik for tripping in the neutral zone. A marginal call. I guess it's a call, but it's a marginal call in my eyes. I don't know what you thought, but marginal.
Very.
But anyways, it ends up, so they get the puck into the offensive zone, and it's on the right side, and Draisaitl's at just about under the half wall on the right side, and then puts it down to the goal line where Connor McDavid gets below the goal line. The Bruins have 3 guys back. They've got Zadorov back left D, McAvoy in that middle area, and then Corrali seems to be shadowing Nugent Hopkins, or at least feeling that he's over his shoulder, who's coming down it would be the inside post left side. But he can't get to Nugent Hopkins quick enough. He can't pick his stick. And nobody attacks McDavid there. I felt like there was room perhaps for Zadorov to turn and maybe stick towards puck. With that said, it's a beautiful sauce pass over to Nugent Hopkins, again, who just gets a half a second in on, maybe not even Razor a half a second, but he gets behind him and he puts it in the net over the blocker or the right pad of Swayman.
They're just so good. There's so many options with those 5 guys out on the ice. And there was maybe 37 thought that maybe the switch didn't happen quick enough, where McAvoy has to go to the bumper and then the backside. They got in between just a little bit for a split second, and that allowed Nugent Hopkins to get in behind. That didn't allow Corrali to see him. See him and pick him up, not knowing whose was who. Because if the puck goes a little bit higher than McAvoy, whatever. So basically, at the same time, though, you got to have that guy. Of all the passes that can be made, that's the last one you really want to be made. Like as a goalie, I want that to go to the bumper first. Then I want to go straight to Bouchard next. Then I want it to go back to Draisaitl. But the last thing I want to happen is to go backside right on the tape by McDavid. I mean, just it's
chance.
crazy. It's crazy how good he is.
I know.
It's so good.
No chance for Swim. I mean, he gets over, and he may even got a.
Yeah, you might get a little,
bit,
like it might hit you, but if it gets all the way outside like that, you really don't have a chance.
So Nugent Hopkins gets his 8th goal of the season. McDavid's 37th assist. Draisaitl's 31st. Puts him up 1-0. But then the Bruins get a power play opportunity just a little bit later. 16:27 mark. It's going to end up being a breakout that's just beautiful. And then an entry that, ends up being even prettier as the Bruins have the, as Brick likes to say, double barrel kind of coming up the ice. There's a kickback, and it ends up going through the neutral zone. McAvoy makes a nice move to Zacha. Zacha's puck goes over just around the blue line to the right side to Elias Lindholm upon entry. And then Elias Lindholm recognizes that the defenseman Emberson is caught in the middle almost, and he makes a beautiful sauce pass himself to a streaking Pavel Zacha, who's got a lot of speed. The lefty goes to his backhand and roofs it past the glove of Tristan Jarry. Made it look easy, not saying it was easy, but the speed and the entry, I think, is the key right there. And, Jarry couldn't get out far enough to challenge him, but I just loved, that was a perfectly executed breakout, neutral zone, and then entry by the Bruins.
It was awesome. We've talked so much about the power play and how good they've been, but we haven't seen much of that. They've been getting into the zone, but they haven't necessarily attacked the way they did there. They pushed the Oilers' defense way back. There was a little bit of room there, perfect sauce pass, and exactly what the Bruins have been doing. They've given up that first goal, but they've really come back late in first periods to knot things up and get themselves set up for a second period.
Pavel Zacha's 9th goal of the season made it 1-1 heading into the first intermission. The Edmonton Oilers only had 5 shots on goal. The Bruins just 7. Again, what we'd call a low event game.
Yep.
Going to the second period, and nothing's really happening. There's some good chances. Both teams have a couple of good chances. Finally gets to the 14:38 mark though, and the Edmonton Oilers have a mixed of their 4th line on the ice. If I remember. Actually, I think it was actually just their full 3rd line, if I remember correctly. I'm not sure if I think Draisaitl may have been out there instead of Frederick, but Max Jones, former Bruin for a couple of days. Max Jones out there, and Quinn Hudson played his college hockey 3 years at BU, scored a bunch of goals at TD Garden Razor as a member of the Terriers. He ends up getting his first National Hockey League goal. It's kind of a scrappy goal in front of the net. Max Jones, I'll give him credit, with a good rugged shift. He's out there. The thing I didn't love, if I'm going to nitpick, is that they're out there against the Bruins top line. And the Bruins have a bit of an extended shift right there. Comes out of the corner off to the glove side of Swayman. Works to the front. Quinn Hudson ends up there after a rebound opportunity, finds it and slides around and I don't say barely gets it in, but you know what I mean. Just kind of pushes it into the empty net for his first career goal. Meanwhile, his brothers Lane and Cole are both dynamic defensemen. Cole currently plays for BU. He's the lone forward of the trio of the brother Hudson, and good for him. He's just a hard-working type of kid. Makes it there. He gets his first of the season. Again, if I'm going to nitpick, I'm going to say that's the kind of goal your first line, in theory, they should have the advantage over them, but they got outworked on that shift there, Razor. That's just what it ended up being. They got beat to the net.
Yeah, they got beat to the net and able to make a quick play. Swayman made a decent save on the bumper shot. Hindsight, he'd love to suck that one in and not give that little rebound back out. And you gotta tie up. You gotta have that guy closed off just a little bit so he can't get to the backside.
And you had McAvoy and Zadorov on the ice. So it wasn't just your top line, it was your top V pair as well, which, all right, fine. You can handle it. You're all right with it. That happened at the 14:38 mark. You don't like it, but you're like, fine, guys, we'll deal with it. Late in the second period, though, at 2-1, Tristan Jarry ends up a lower body injury. Looked like a groin, not a knee, right? It looked like a
more groin.
Okay. Yep. and trying to make a save. Pasta flew by him. There was no contact made. I couldn't tell at first. He ends up, going to the bench, and Calvin Pickard had stood up and reading lips. Like he said, "Are you all right? You doing all right?" I don't know if he said anything or not, but he shook his head or whatever and just kind of skated off the ice. And Pickard, a longtime backup in the NHL, puts his helmet on and his mask on. He goes in there. Razor, for about the last 3.5 or 4 minutes, the Bruins end up having, 3 high-quality, high-danger chances. And holy Christ, he was great. Holy shit, he made some major saves at that time of the game. And so what's that like for a goalie coming in a chess match type of game, cold off the bench? What are you doing to get yourself into it right away?
Well, you want to get lucky. You want to get hit with a few. And Pickard did have that happen. He's kind of in place. He's a bigger guy. He doesn't move very well, but he gets to his spots. And for him, he's come in cold a bunch of times the last few years, and he's an older guy, veteran guy, and he was able to survive the end of the second, because you're right, the Bruins pushed a little bit. Again, like they did at the end of the first period, and like they've done all season, they pushed, and he made a few saves and was able to relieve the pressure. It's kind of it's when a guy gets injured, you're going in and it's like, all right, well, I haven't done anything for 4 hours, so we'll see how this goes. You're really just rolling the dice. You don't know how you'd probably rather be down 4-1 at that point and have no pressure at all. When you're up 2-1, it's a little more pressure filled, but you're still playing with house money at that point. And you just try and, get through the end of the second anyways, and get a stretch and get a Gatorade into you.
Yeah. I mean, whatever he did to tell himself, maybe he got lucky. He faced 3 shots, and I would say all 3 of them were good quality. And he made all 3 saves. I was impressed as heck, because I felt like the Bruins took the absolute road of backup goalie, get everything on net as much as you can, challenge it. They feasted on that, so to speak. They use that as motivation or as energy. But he matched it. We both thought he was excellent, PJ, as well, at the end of the second. So you go into the third period, and there was an early penalty to Bouchard in the third period that puts the Bruins on the power play. And one thing leads to another. The Bruins don't connect on a couple of plays. The puck ends up going over. It would be the Bruins' left wing side, so the blocker side of the goaltender, Pickard at the time. Nugent Hopkins gets it, middle of the face-off circle, I'd say. And next thing you know, he takes a few strides. McDavid has revved up the jet engines. They're like the Rolls-Royce engines that you hear about on jet planes, I mean.
Yeah.
Does his multiple crossovers.
Not a normal jet plane, the Concorde.
He takes off, and it was an absolute beauty of a pass. I mean, there's how does a defenseman keep up with him skating backwards?
The other issue on that pass, right, is he's so fast that he takes an angle to open himself up. He crosses over to the point where he gets over to the half wall or to the left wing boards to open up the angle. And then 2 crossovers later, he's in the middle of the ice and he's gone. It's like that. He opens up the angle on that pass, because I think it was Charlie. Charlie's in a pretty, anyone else, Charlie closes that pass off. But Connor McDavid's able to give himself a little bit more space, because he's just so fast that he goes a little wider and then cuts back in once that pass comes, gives Nugent Hopkins a lane. And again, you're watching it and you can see it happen 5 seconds before Nugent Hopkins gets the puck. You see a little bit of a turnover and you're like, oh, he's gone. You're not getting him. He's gone.
He's literally like a plane going out the taxi to the runway. And you see it, sometimes your plane, when you're going out, it turns, it stops, it waits. Yeah. He turns and he just starts going, and they completely put the hammer down.
Yeah, both benches knew he was getting a breakaway on that.
Yeah.
3 or 4 seconds. As soon as that puck turns over, it's really, yeah. It's a generation. It's Bobby Orr. That's what it is.
sometimes he's moving so fast and powerfully. I say, how does he stay up on his skates? Because it's got that little bow-leggedness to it, but the feet are so fast too, but his edges are so spectacularly solid. They're beyond solid. I don't know what word I should use, but he uses both the inside and outside edge to power. So he never has a recovery stride, Razor. The only time he has a recovery stride is actually when he doesn't coast really, but you know what I mean? Otherwise he's constantly moving his feet for power, constantly using both in and outside edges.
I think I feel pretty confident saying he could play 60 straight minutes. Like I think he changes just because he feels bad for everybody else and like he wants to let other guys play. I think the way like his skating stride, he could literally play 60 minutes and it wouldn't even play. It's so miraculous. Like it is.
Yeah.
There's no one else. There's no one else on the planet that can do what he does.
McKinnon is close.
Yeah.
It's a little different. It's still multiple crossovers. They both have the same technique in that regard. And McKinnon is more bull in a china shop out there type thing. And he'll run over you. McDavid blows by you.
Yeah.
Is that fair?
The only guy, the only guy who can one-man breakout like that is McKinnon. That's close, but it's still there's still some percentage points that's different with 97.
He had another play in the third period where he broke the puck out on his own.
Yeah, it went right up the right side and like turned it into a breakaway. It's bananas. Like it doesn't make any sense. There's 9 guys in the neutral zone. He just goes through all right, I'm just going to go right up the wing.
He took 5 strides out of his own zone and he separated from 2 players like they were literally
breakaway out of it.
Geeky was one guy. See you later, Morgan. See, maybe I'll see you on Team Canada, bud. And then he got, I think it was Janot who had helped stand back there, and Janot tried to turn and then he fell down and he's okay. And then he moved the puck over to the left wing side.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh my God, how? So I know this is a Bruins show, but you got to sometimes just.
We get Connor twice a year. That's worth talking about because it's silly.
So, okay. So I want to hit our sponsors real quick, but a couple of things. One, I want to ask you about, again, it's worth asking. You just said it. We get Connor twice a year. But so would you be okay giving up Connor and just seeing him once a year, whether it's home or away?
Nope.
Okay. Nope. I was going to get to it. Okay. So your answer is no. See, because you can't pick and choose who you play. A lot of people don't want full one game against the West and East, right? They don't want the interconference type play. They want to focus more on divisional rivals and stuff. I can't give up seeing Connor McDavid in TD Garden. That means you have to take the Calgary Flames in TD Garden as well. I'm fine with that, though. I'm totally fine with it.
No, I hated it. I hated those 3 years where we only went to one play, like the divisions and the whole. I hated it. I think it's horrible for the game. I think you have to play each team you have to have each team come through your building once. You have to. And like the idea that the Bruins didn't go to Calgary, Edmonton, Vancouver one season, like they didn't go there and play. It's terrible. So everyone needs to see Sid. Everyone needs to see Nate. Everybody needs to see David Pasternak. Everybody needs to see Connor McDavid. I do not subscribe. I never have for 25 years that rivalry thing. I don't believe in it.
Okay, so we fully agree on that. I don't want to see a change. I think that would be stupid.
Yeah.
For the league.
I'm passionate about that. Yeah.
I want to hit up our sponsors here, and then I want to ask you about what Swayman or a goalie, not even Swayman, but what a goalie is supposed to do there. Because again, I just don't know where to go. We can talk about playing in these type of games. Post game, Marco Sturm talked about the guys were sharp. Need to learn though how to play these type of games, and wasn't saying it in a bad way, but just talk about that and a couple of other things. But first, I want to talk about Sunset Lake CBD. I want to talk about all the great things they do from their Northern Vermont farm, where they grow products that are all natural, and they've got so many different items that you can use. Visit sunsetlakecbd.com/morningbrew. Use the code BRU20 to get 20% off site-wide. I am already, because I didn't have a great night's sleep last night because nasal. It wasn't that I was sleeping. It was so dry. I mean, I'm like venting my issues here, Razor. I actually had a bloody nose last night. How about that?
Oh, you got to get
anyway.
The humidifier going.
I know, I do.
Not the dehumidifier like we're used to needing here in Boston. You get the humidifier.
So I've already taken one of my good night gummies. I've already got to get that into the system. I'm going to be taking another one when I get up there because those are my favorites. I took the gummy because I'm going to be up for a little while. But you can also take a tincture, the vial, very easy to use. But they've also got other products too. For instance, the hemp salve stick with CBD and arnica. I have it right here. As I speak about sleep, Razor starts yawning. I
yawned during the game tonight. Like I've been dying tonight. So.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, we need to get you ups, not downs. But I love this product right here for the achy joints that I have. I have 2 fake hips, so I use that stuff on them right there before and after skating. They've also got their lifted teas. They got 2 flavors: original iced tea and the mint green tea. You booze-free buzz. So their lifted teas are great. They got all these awesome products. Just go to sunsetlakecbd.com. Again, use the code BRU20 and skip the trip to the store. They'll ship it right to your house. They're awesome people. They've got great quality products. I want you to check them out. Razor loves them as well. He was the guy completely going for the lifted teas.
Lifted teas are awesome. And the shipping and the delivery is so seamless. It's a no-brainer.
And speaking of seamless, easy shipping, Fazenda Coffee will do that as well. Go to fazendacoffee.com, the company that's been with Morning Brew with Jaffe and Razor for just about all of our years, plural now, many years. I visited with them the other day. Got the coffee, the Morning Brew blend, but they got all these other roasts too. It's just a wonderful place to go in Dedham. You can actually order it if you're in the area and go to Dedham and pick it up if you want. Or again, they'll ship it right to your house. Go to fazendacoffee.com/morningbrew. They got a couple of Morning Brew hats and just a few clean canteens left, Razor. Just a few. And, I love the clean canteen. Perfect for anything hot or anything you want to keep very cold. Fazenda Coffee has got that for you. So go check that out. And I picked up some stuff for you and RC as well. And lastly, Copeland Auto Group. You can count on Copeland. I know you can count on Copeland, Razor, because that's where you get your cars the last how many years now?
That's it. That's where I go. Nowhere else. Don't have to look anywhere else. Yep. Two Tahoes and a Prius later. So they're the best over there. No messing around. They love hockey. Great service. And you can go in there and they'll tell you that they can get whatever you need. So go check out Copeland, whether it's in Brockton, the Cape, they're all over the place now, and Todd's the best.
Toyota, Chevrolet, and Subaru dealerships. Count on Copeland.com. Check out all their new and used inventory. Copey and his staff are awesome. And we love working with people that are into service, and all of our companies are into service. All right, let's speak about that, what a goaltender is supposed to do when a player like that is coming at you. We saw it at a different level with Pavel Zacha going in on Tristan Jarry. It wasn't from as far away of a breakaway right there, but still you could see him staying back. But seriously, all kidding aside, like what is Jeremy Swayman supposed to do there?
Well, it's hard. And so like Tukes and I were talking about a little bit. The problem is he's so fast. So, and again, like you can put guys in a situation where they're fast and their hands don't work or their brains don't work. This guy just it all goes together. It all goes 100 miles an hour. So the issue is with Jeremy is you want to be conservative, but you have to be aggressive because he can shoot the puck right off the bat, and he's done that before on breakaways. And when he decides to go wide and go to the far post, he's covering distance more than everyone else that you'll ever see. And actually, Nate McKinnon scored on Jeremy in Colorado in a very similar way on a breakaway where they just beat guys to the post. And you don't see anyone else get beaten to the post by NHL goaltenders because they're too fast, they're too long, they're too flexible, they're too good. But those two guys, and McDavid did it tonight, where they're able to just do a little bit of a fake. And instead of covering 3.5 feet like an NHL player does, a normal NHL player, Connor covers 6 with his stride and with his speed, and he just beats you to the far post. So I guess the answer is if you really like broke it down, you just kind of lie down and hope he misses his shot, like force him to take a shot. But in the moment, it's almost impossible if he doesn't screw up himself.
Okay, so, I know there's got to just be a focus, but you know who's coming at you on a breakaway.
Oh, yeah.
You know it.
Yeah.
You know it. And obviously it's
I guarantee you, Swayman saw it happening. Like I saw it 5 seconds before. Yeah. Swayman saw it 9 seconds before. He's like, oh, Jesus Christ, here's a breakaway. Here it comes.
Right. So he hadn't been killing many penalties. Then he goes to killing penalties. Then they kind of take him off the penalty kill again. In this game, they put him out there. And Nugent Hopkins, to me, highly underrated, underappreciated, not underrated, a highly underappreciated player the last couple of years. I think he's really matured into a second level star. I just do. He's going to go down in Oilers Hall of Fame. You know that for spend his whole career there, et cetera. Makes a gorgeous pass. And then, so can you put yourself back in the crease and, it's Raycroft against so-and-so on a breakaway that you're not sitting there saying, holy shit. I'm not saying that Jeremy Swayman saying, oh my God, here. He's saying, this is McDavid. This is it. Like this. So take me into the crease when you were playing, when a guy like that's coming down and you're thinking even more, because it's not just a breakaway. It's a breakaway against one of the game's best.
Yeah, you recognize it, whether it was Patty Kane or any of those guys. You know who's getting it, you know who's coming in. You might dial in a little bit more or dial in too much because you want to make.
Well, that's what
play,
I was going to ask you.
right?
Are you thinking more than you want to at that time?
You can, and the other thing with Connor is, he gets his breakaways from so far away because he's so fast and he's able to make plays. Like it's not from blue line in, it's far blue line in. And again, you as a goaltender, you see that developing. You knew for a while, so you're kind of thinking a little bit. But again, you always at worst, you want the guy to make a play. You want him to make a move, and I think that's what we saw tonight. Like McDavid made his move, and he got it. You don't want to get sizzled with like a little wrister and give one up for free as a goaltender. So for me, I think the same way Swayman did, where be aggressive. And if he really does beat me back to my post, then I'll tip my cap because that's ridiculous.
What did you think of the top line in this game? The Lindholm line. I know that these guys were out there for the power play goal. And so that looks good. I'll say I think that Edmonton did a pretty damn good job against them. Pastrnak had 2 shot attempts. I beg your pardon. He had 3 shot attempts. That was it. They stifled him. He didn't have at least. So I guess the question is, it didn't seem like he had the total pasta jump, right, that we've seen at times. But was that because of what Edmonton did, or he just didn't have it? He only had 1 shot on goal in 3 attempts. Morgan Geekie had 7 attempts, but only 1 of them hit the net. He also had 4 giveaways in the game. And Elias Lindholm, he had 2 shots on goal. One of them was from distance that I don't think he would have.
I thought they passed up a few shots early. I thought they were trying to be a little cute. That's all. I thought they could have simplified against this Oilers team and got a little more out of it. Like David made an unbelievable seam pass to Geekie, and Geekie goes in and he's kind of looking to pass the whole way in the first period. And then he finally doesn't have a choice, so he shoots it up and over Jari. Like I thought he should have ripped that right away. I thought they were a little indirect That's all. I thought I wouldn't criticize them for their game. I wouldn't say that they weren't ready. I just think that they got a little indirect.
And I couldn't agree more. And I think they were, how's this for repetitive? I think they were thinking too much.
Yeah.
I think because the game, again, I go back to it, was not one of these wide open games. This was a game of neutral zone, was mega important for both teams. Yeah. And I felt like when teams got opportunities, you didn't see the zip, 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 zip. You saw thinking their way towards the net instead of flowing towards the net.
Yeah.
So I agree with you. I mean, but when you keep David to one shot on goal and Morgan with one shot on goal, that's pretty damn good.
Well, and you said it right at the start, is that Edmonton had their antenna up for this one. And when they have their antenna up, they can play defense. They can close space. They can make it hard. And they decided to do that with the Bruins tonight.
All right, a couple of other numbers before we wrap this one up. The Bruins, in a good face-off battle, win 34. They lose 29. Mark Kastelik was 8 for 11, so he did a nice job. Nikita Zadorov ended up playing over 10 minutes of 5-on-5 ice time against Connor McDavid. That was the most of any Bruins defenseman. McAvoy at about 8.5 or so after that. So those were the main guys out there against Charlie and Nikita against Connor McDavid. Hampus, Lindholm, and Peak seemed to see more of the Draisaitl line, whatever one he was on. You know, Knobloch will sometimes, he did it a handful of times in this game, put Draisaitl out there with the fourth line, and then he moved Frederick back. By the way, did you see the Trent Frederick welcome back? I would call it moment. It was nice. It was very tasteful, and he was touched, I felt.
Yeah, he deserved the nowadays tribute. He deserved it. I'm glad they didn't give him Max Jones one. That would have, really made my head explode. But Trent was a great guy. He was a great teammate, first round pick, and a friend of our show, just a friend of everybody, just a really solid person. So I suppose I'm biased in the fact that he got it. I did not see the video that they put together, but
nice.
It was nice for him.
It was nice, yeah. And he's such a wonderful. He really is a great kid.
Yeah,
he has struggled this year, but nobody feels worse about it than he does.
And that's probably the problem.
And it's part of the problem.
At the end of the day, he feels too.
You know what else is part of the problem? Me as a host, because I forgot to add that that McDavid breakaway. Holy smokes, I am. The Sunset Lake CBDs, the Good Night Gummies kicking it. I forgot to give our spark of the game. And I'm going to give it, even though they're an opponent, I'm going to give it to McDavid for that.
Yeah, we give it to the best player in the world.
Yeah.
All day, every day.
All right. So Spark Sharpeners, sparkshockey.com brings you the spark of the game. And that's what Connor McDavid did with that shorty, which took the air a little bit out of the building right there. But listen, Bruins tried. Now they got 3 games left in this homestand. They have Saturday and Sunday. They do not have practice on Friday, nothing at all. So they get off. Everybody gets a day to reset and then get ready for Vancouver on Saturday, who, by the way, Friday night plays on the island. So it's back-to-back for the Canucks. And then Sunday night against the Ottawa Senators. So you got all these Canadian teams in. Coincidence or not, I don't know. It's a lot of double anthem nights for Todd Angelo. Right. Get the lungs ready, Todd. So looking forward to that. Anything else you want to hit on from this game? I mean, again, good game. Not enough here and there, but not like a bad game at all. 5-on-5, nothing that you can look at and say they didn't do this. They didn't win the special teams battle.
No, yeah, it was a good effort, and the 2 best teams in the league over the last 2 weeks, they played each other, and the best player on the ice was the best player on the ice. So let's go back to 8-1 after losses in their last 9 games. So let's make that 9-1. That's the focus now. Go get Vancouver.
Razor and I will talk to you Saturday morning. It's Saturday Morning Brew with Jaffe and Razor on EEI from 8 to 9. That will also be simulcast on Nessun at 5 o'clock at night. They will have the rebroadcast of that. But anyway, you can also get it wherever your podcasts come from. So we'll talk to you then. We'll have the week in review, and we'll have some fun. In the meantime, the Bruins are going to get set for back-to-back home games Saturday and Sunday at TD Garden, as Razor said. Let's see if they can bounce back as they have done beautifully this year. All right, everybody, enjoy your Friday and enjoy your coffee.